a drug dealer stopped a police car in the middle of the street claiming that he had battered a binman for spying on his girlfriend in her underwear. Della Woods, previously jailed after her crazed dog mauled a pensioner to death, was getting dressed by an upstairs window when the incident began. Her boyfriend Brian Conlon believed a binman was a peeping Tom and ran outside screaming to confront him. Liverpool Crown Court heard he repeatedly punched the binman, who eventually fought back and managed to get on top of him. The Liverpool Echo reports that the victim said mum of one Miss Woods rushed out and hit him over the back with an iron bar, before he and colleagues fled in their lorry. The binman and the couple both called police after the incident in Norris Green, Liverpool, at around 8:45 am on January 22, 2016. But when officers arrived they noticed a pungent smell and discovered Conlon had set up a £12,800 cannabis farm in his girlfriend's home. Conlon, 45, confessed it's all mine after police found 21 cannabis plants, lighting units, a transformer, compost and a tent. Officers then searched his home in Belvedere Road, Doxteth, where they found a £7,200 cannabis grow, which boasted 8 plants. Clear zip bags found in Wood's home contained £3,400 of cannabis, and texts on mobile phones showed Conlon was offering to sell drugs. Henry Riding, prosecuting, said Conlon was on bail at the time for allowing premises to be used to smoke cannabis, in June 2015. He let Gary Youds, 47, set up an Amsterdam-style cannabis cafe called the Chillin' Rooms in a building in Holt Road, Kensington. Cannabis legalization champion Youds, of Cavan Road, Norris Green, was jailed for 9 months in January over the luxury smoking rooms. Youds was in court today to support dad of one Conlon, who on that occasion received 8 months in prison, suspended for a year. The binman suffered bruising and soreness to his left shoulder and back, his glasses were broken and he was off work for 3 weeks. Mr. Riding said the now married couple accused the binman of being a peeping Tom and said Woods was in her underwear. Woods admitted possession of an offensive weapon on the basis she brandished a golf club, but never used it to strike the victim. The mum, who has a 12-year-old son, also pleaded guilty to permitting her premises to be used for cannabis production. Woods was jailed for a year in 2014 after Clifford Clark, 79, was literally eaten alive by her dog that hadn't been fed or watered. The defenseless OAP was mauled to death in the back garden of his Clubmer home by Woods and Hayley Sully's starving pet in May 2013. Woods and Sully, then both 30, had left Charlie, a Presa Canario breed, to swelter without shade, as he ate a plastic bowl and cigarette butts. Conlon admitted a fray and 2 counts of cannabis production but denied possession with intent to supply and offering to supply cannabis. He was found guilty after a trial of both offenses despite claiming the cannabis was for personal use to ease the pain of his Crohn's disease. Desmond Lennon, defending, said Conlon had been clearly upset and perhaps disgusted by what he perceived as the binman's voyeurism. Sarah Holt, defending Woods, said she had mental health problems and her son had emotional difficulties as a result of her last spell in prison. Recorder Simon Earlham said the affray could only be described as a disgraceful brawl in the street. Jailing Conlon for 2 years and 3 months, he said, "You completely lost your temper and acted in a manner that was frightening in the extreme." He accepted they thought the binman acted inappropriately, but said, "The evidence he was a peeping Tom as you thought is non-existent as far as I can see." Recorder Earlham said Woods had been in a difficult position as she knew Conlon had bowel disease when he wanted to grow the cannabis. He said he had sympathy for her position and handed her 3 months in prison, suspended for 18 months, as the couple burst into tears. The judge said Woods must also complete a rehabilitation activity requirement of up to 35 days.